Hello, everybody. Peace and power and elevation be to all of you. Salam alaikum, Ramadan Mubarak to all you beautiful people out there. I hope y'all had a great Juma and a great fast. So tonight, I'm not going to really get into like a whole lot of, you know, presentation type of stuff. I just want to share some information with you guys. So what I want to do is look into African American scholars, Islamic scholars. And so one of the Islamic scholars that I want people to check out for their own purpose, for especially those of you who are very much interested about Islam and Black people practicing Islam here in America, etc. I want you guys to look into Sherman Jackson. So Dr. Sherman Jackson is a Islamic scholar. I got his information right over here. So as you can see, this is the website, which is alimprogram.org. So according to the website, let's just go ahead and look at the website. Dr. Sherman Jackson is the King Faisal Chair of Islamic Thought and Culture and Professor of Religion and American Studies and Ethnicity at the University of Southern California. He was formerly the Arthur F. Thurnall Professor of Near Eastern Studies and visiting professor of law and professor of Afro American Studies at the University of Michigan. And that's a picture of him. It says Dr. Jackson received his PhD from the University of Pennsylvania and has taught at the University of Texas at Austin, Indiana University, Wayne State University, and the University of Michigan. From 1987 to 1989, he served as executive director of the Center of Arabic Study Abroad in Cairo, Egypt. He is the author of several books, including Islamic Law and the State, the Constitutional Jurisprudence of Shahab al-Din al-Khurafi, on the boundaries of theological tolerance in Islam, Abu Ahmed al-Ghazali, Fasil al-Tafriq, Islam and the Black American, looking towards the third resurrection, Islam and the problem of Black suffering, and most recently Sufism for non-Sufis, Ibn Atta Allah al-Sakadiri, Taj al-Aruz. All right, so they also say that Dr. Jackson is a co-founder of Core Scholar, a member of the Board of Trustees of American Learning Institution for Muslim, an academic institution where scholars, professionals, activists, artists, writers, and community leaders come together to develop strategies for the future of Islam in the modern world. So it also says, additionally, Dr. Jackson is a former member of the FIG Council of North America, former president of Sharia Scholars Association of North America, and a past trustee of the North American Islamic Trust. He has contributed to several publications, including the Washington Post, Newsweek blog on faith, and the Huffington Post. Dr. Jackson is listed by the Religion News Writers Foundation Religion Link as among the top 10 experts on Islam in America, and was named among the 500 most influential Muslims in the world by the Royal Islamic Strategic Studies Center in Amman, Jordan, and the Prince Al-Walid bin Talal Center for Muslim Christian Understanding. All right, so these are the books that he has written, and also, if you want to, you can check them out on Amazon. Okay, so here are the books on Amazon website. All right, so here are the books on Amazon website. So these are the list of books that he has written. Okay, it could be found on Kindle, paperback copy and hardcover. So as you can see, these books are kind of pricey, but especially this one right here, which is the Islamic law and the state, the constitutional jurisprudence of Shahab al-Din al-Kharifi, the study in Islamic law and society. It's cost over $236.03. All right, so let's see. Let's look at the introduction. All right, the introduction. This book traces the ideological encounter between Islam and Black Americans from the pro-Islamic Black nationalist spin-off movements of the early 20th century through the rise and preponderance of Orthodox Sunni Islam by the century's end. While such a trajectory might connote a preliminary historical emphasis, this book does not aim at a descriptive survey of the places, dates, and personality connected with the spread of Islam among Black Americans. Its primary focus is rather the ideological dislocation and attempted adjustment that accompanied the shift in the basis of the religious authority following the influx of Muslims from the Middle East and Asia after the repeal of the National Origins Act and the Asiatic Bar Zone in 1965. So it also said it proceeds in the concentric context of the perduring struggle on the part of Black Americans to settle upon a self-definition that is both functionally enabling and sufficiently authentic. The inextricable power and influence of white supremacy as a seminal feature of the contemporary globe come America's social political order. And third, the hegemonic presumptions and deployments of modern Middle Eastern and South Asian Islam, particularly as manifested in the collective vision of Muslim immigrants to the United States. All right. So this book just basically goes into the history about Islam and Black people in America. So it's going to be talking about the Nation Islam and all the other groups, all the Black nationalist groups that practice Islam in this country. So that's this book, and it costs around $47. Well, it's $48 if you round it up. It's around $48. Okay, but yeah, that's just one information on. Let's see. Let's look at two more. So let's look at the one that says Sufis for non-Sufis. Ooh. All right, so under here was this introduction. The mastery of nature is vainly believed to be an adequate substitute for self-mastery. Okay, by Reinhold Niebuhr. So it says Taj al Aras al Hawi Lil Tahil al Nufis, a full translation of which I present here under the title The Bridegroom's Crown, containing instruction on refining the self, is, as its title suggests, a work on spiritual education. Its author Ibn Atta Allah al Sakandari was celebrated Sufi in the pre-modern tradition of Islam. Given the modern polemic and around Sufism, this alone might be enough to discourage many, especially non-Sufis, from taking any interest in such a text. It says, but the bridegroom's crown so quickly defies many of the criticism and stereotype popularized by Sufism modern opponents that it soon reveals many of these popular misgivings to be misplaced. At the same time, it challenges modern proponents of Sufism by imitating alternatives to mysticism as the pivotal focus of the Sufi enterprise. To be sure, Ibn Atta Allah was an active participant in the modern debate around Sufism. In this text, however, he largely steps away from this concern and devotes himself more directly to integrating the common Muslim with Sufism sine qua non, that is a direct, deep-seated, and proper relationship with God above and beyond all other spiritual concerns or achievements. In this capacity, the bridegroom's crown represents a minimalist approach to Sufism. Its minimalism functioning not as an ideal but as a means of reaching and inspiring everyday believers and elevating their moral, spiritual, and devotional confidence and resolve. All right, so basically his book talks about, I mean, just categorizing that context, is Sufism really good for, non-Sufis, meaning those who are in the Sunni or Shia Islam, right? Those who are not in a practitioner of Sufi Islam. So basically in this book, he goes into the detail, the whole debate around Sufism, because people debated at one point in time, was Sufi even considered as true Islam? Is it really Islam, or is it like an offshoot Islam or whatever? So that has always been a debate about it. Even some scholars believe that Sufi is haram. It doesn't follow the consensus of Allah. It is yeah, it doesn't follow the Quran or anything like that. So that's how some Sunni scholars believe, or some Orthodox Muslims. That's the way they look at it. They look at Sufi not as being truly Islamic practice, whatever the case may be. So yeah, that's that book, and that book right here costs around $50.70. Okay, so that's just some of the information that I wanted to share. And also, he also has a YouTube video, a lecture. So I want to show you guys that. Be overshadowed. All right, so here's one video that I think people should check out. This video is called Dr. Sherman Jackson, A History of Black Islam in America. All right. So you guys should check out this video. And there's many other videos over here. As you can see, it's a long list. All right. All right, then. Well, that's just so that's all I have. Nothing else. Yeah, so I do have the PDF for some of the books, and I'll be glad to post them up on my page. But I just wanted to share that information. So if you guys want to look at somebody who is an Islamic scholar and who is of African descent that's teaching about the Islamic culture or whatnot, check out Sherman Jackson. There'll be more to come. So I like to always make sure I present scholars who's actually studying like some type of history, whether it be science, whether it be religious studies, whether it be Afro American studies or African studies, philosophy, whatever it is. I want to be able to make sure that I present the individuals to you all, and you guys can look into them yourself. All right. So with that being said, thanks everybody for supporting my channel. For those of you that have been very supportive, thank you for checking out my channel. So with that being said, peace and power elevation be to all of you. And this your girl Tiffany, and I'm logging off saying deuces. Y'all have a good one and be safe. And that's it. Ramadan Mubarak. And until next time, I will talk to you all later.